Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just got on to Bitcoin, bigger the CoinsKid crew. So I did make this video way back when, last year, about my blow off top theory. I've made numerous videos on this particular theory. They are in the channel if you want to find them. You know, I'll drop a link to this particular video in the Bitcoin video today for you to take a look at. But, you know, if this is correct, we've nailed the top here, you know, and the time basically. So I'm always trying to experiment with time. Don't always get it right, to be honest with you, but, you know, I like to experiment with time. I like to experiment with the charts and things like that, as you're fully aware, and try and make forecasts. So far, so good. It is playing out, but what we want to see in the charts is a break of the all-time high to validate my theory that we are in the blow-off top right now. Okay, failure to do that, obviously coming back in that big macro right shoulder, will sort of, you know, start to invalidate this time frame blow-off top theory, and we'll just say, okay, we're just in a normal typical cycle for Bitcoin. But I think there's a chance. Okay, I do think there's a chance. I've been looking at this for a very long time. I do find lots of confluence in many other charts, not just a Bitcoin chart. I look at other charts as well for this analysis. Okay, to back it up with, you know, basically confluence, and this is something you always do, and I've always done basically. So you know, right now Bitcoin could be on the cusp of a vertical blow off top in this cycle that will end and then roll into a big bear market. Okay, and then at that time I'll give you all the projections for that particular bear market as well. But, you know, if I'm correct, for this data to ring true, we need to see a break of the all-time high before the halvening, and I think this will add fuel to the fire basically of a big blow off top here for Bitcoin. So, you know, I'll play you this segment of video right now, but before I do, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the Discord. Okay, I was in there this morning getting so many, like, grateful messages and things like that. I really appreciate that. I've built that community for you. For anyone that's into crypto, I just think it's a bit of a sanctuary, somewhere to go to talk to other people, you know, find opportunities, you know, long, short, whatever. This is what we do on the channel. We do go short, we do go long, and we've got lots of people posting their setups, their analysis in the channel as well, which is amazing, and a big thumbs up to each and every single one of you. So basically what I'm looking at is, over the next few weeks, if we break the all-time high, then I'm going to stand by my primary count. Basically, it really is that simple, and at that point I need to see data in the charts to tell us when, you know, we need to get out. So I'm going to show you all that data today in the Bitcoin video, but I just played this segment from, I think it was around about October, when everyone was super bearish down here. I said to you, I think we're going to pump here. So I'll play this video right now so you can take a look for yourself. Okay, but right now I'm looking at a scenario right now. We're looking at some kind of big insane blow off top here for Bitcoin. Now if this comes, this will not surprise me. Okay, so you can clearly see when you start to go vertical, okay, towards the end of a big run up, okay, the third wave there, the big pullback, oh no, it's going to zero, and then the big run up just there, the pullback just there, and the big run up, you can clearly see that Bitcoin can start to go vertical. So in this instance here, I think we could have some kind of catalyst for this particular scenario that's, you know, telling us in the charts that it's coming, you know, and it's just uncanny how we've got this sort of alignment right now with the potential of a spot ETF approval. So if we get up there, it would not surprise me, because this is something I've been looking at for a very long time now. Going from this first cycle here, you can clearly see we took 128 days to get from this peak to that peak. Okay, then from this peak to that peak took 211 days. So what we've done right now, what I've done is basically work out the percentage increase from that time to that time. Okay, now that gives us a projection of a percentage increase of 346 days for this cycle peak. So basically it took 128 days from this peak to that peak. Then it took 211 days from that peak to that peak. So the percentage increase was around about 64%. So I've had 64% to that particular level there, 211, and it gives a projection of peak to peak. If we're removing the percentage increase over time, it gives a projection to next year for 346 bars for this particular peak cycle top. Now if this plays out, absolutely nailed it. But at this point here, I will exit all markets. Okay, I would absolutely, if Bitcoin's up there at 200k by July next year, I'm selling absolutely everything and exit all markets, because I think we've got a massive bear market that will follow basically. So I did make that little forecast way back last year, but I've made this forecast for a very long time. For those that have been with the channel, they will know, you know, it's been my primary count that this is a blow off top phase right now, final fifth wave. So let me dive into the charts, because I may have found a little bit of confluence at this particular timeline, given the structure and the data in the charts, that if we do start to see a break of the all-time high, I may have found a little sweet spot. Let's dive into the chart right now and show you what I'm looking at for Bitcoin as confluence. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, at the moment we are above the CoinsKid ribbon. You know, we're bullish, we're doing really well from that reaction just there. When we broke down in the summer, we've got the 5 waves here, the 5 waves of death, the, you know, the bump and run pattern. Beautiful little trade that was for the CoinsKid crew, including myself. And I identified a very minimal risk trade right there for yourselves. It was a beautiful little opportunity. Boom, come all the way up, and we're doing incredibly well. So like I said to you, if this is a third wave, it should in theory go vertical. And with that, we can identify a potential parabolic curve from this bottom, potentially a base 1, 2, free. Now typically at the base free we do double in the stock price, or in this case Bitcoin. I did relays to you way back when, if we start to take out this resistance point, this is a vertical in the charts. This is a power, it's a wave free, it's a parabolic mania phase of a larger cycle here. So at some point this will come crashing down, and I know we break the highs and start to come up, people won't expect us to come crashing down at all. Let's say spot ETF, the wall of money supporters, we're never going to go into bear market, we're never going to crash again, and so on and so forth. But again, I'm relying on data, and if these data points are taken out, then obviously I think there's more fuel in that argument. The spot ETF right now and the wall of money behind Bitcoin, it breaks all signals and data and cycle theories basically. So yeah, at that point Bitcoin could go absolutely insane, but again, I'm just going to rely on the data, not emotion. Okay, so what I'm looking at right now is a potential opportunity that my theory is correct. At this point we won't roll into this sort of right shoulder, so again, if we do, I'll address that and we'll trade it like an absolute boss. But at the minute we've got this support of this potential parabolic curve that in time, whenever we break down below that, then again that's just a signal point to get the hell out of Bitcoin, isn't it? But at this point I'm going to respect my primary account that we are about to bust a move and we're about to take off. So if that's correct, I need to kind of lay down a guesstimation as to when the top will be in, given some factors in the chart. So like I said to you earlier in the video right there, I do have a time-based theory that at this point here in July, and I was looking at this for many years and equally refreshed this idea in October last year, that is your blow off top, that's the end, given time right there. So the peak to peak cycle. So July of this year, inside of this box, if Bitcoin over the next few weeks comes up and takes out this resistance point inside of this time frame here, we could have a blow off top basically. So is there anything else in the charts right now that backs up that theory of mine, that if we come up right now, consolidate range, take out this resistance point and start to go vertical, that we will meet the grisly end right there for Bitcoin, where it does start to come down in a massive bear market? Well, there is. Let me show you right now, and it's using an indicator which I've shown you many times before. It's called the Pi Cycle Bitcoin indicator. It's a free indicator to get into your charts. We've got this moving average just there, the 350 moving average. Okay, so typically what this does, once this orange line crosses the green line, whenever it is in time, it prints a Pi Cycle top. So if we move to the left, it printed it just there in 2021, which is what I think the true the cycle top is. If we move to the left, it equally printed it way back there in 2017 as well. So at this point, if we do start to go vertical inside of this box and we print the cross, it will print another Pi Cycle top. So I'm trying to guesstimate when that will be, and I think I found it. Okay, so let me show you right now. So there's a bit of a crossroads here, and I've shown you the reason why I've got this crossroads in the charts, because at that point just there is a dump moon basically next Saturday, and at this point here we've got this green line, the moving average, which is sort of rearing up for that retest, isn't it? Sort of crossing that all-time high just there for Bitcoin in the previous Pi cycle, and then equally here consolidating a range and attacking it. So what I'm looking at is a potential scenario of a crossroads where we do tag that line. I think at any point when we tag this line, we have to take a measurement from left to right of 139 days, and I'm going to go through this with you as to why. Because if we take a look at the previous cycle, we did put in the Pi Cycle top within 139 days of tagging the previous all-time high and the green line moving average. So what we did at this point, we came up, and I remember this really well, we consolidated a range, creating a ascending triangle, we broke out in the third point resistance, and this is the type of pattern that I am looking for at the all-time high. A lot of people, we think we'll melt through that and things like that, but I think we potentially reject. You'll get a lot of sellers at that point, a lot of supply, and at that point we need to come back down, look for a consolidation pattern, which should essentially be some kind of horizontal or symmetrical triangle, not necessarily a double top pattern, because that would be bearish. And at that point, consolidating a range, and then we go. And the true parabolic mania phase begins for Bitcoin once you get above that green line, okay? And obviously the all-time high, which was this previous Pi Cycle top, 20k, boom, tacked it with that green line, came back in for the correction, then broke. And then it's within this frame here, this time frame of 139 days, that Bitcoin put in the parabolic mania phase, that huge move, Pi Cycle top printed, get the hell out of Bitcoin. So it took 139 days of tagging the green line and the previous all-time high to make the Pi Cycle top, the sort of mania phase of that previous impulse right there. So if we do exactly what we've done before, and again this is simple technical analysis, it's theory based, nothing set in stone, and obviously if things start to occur in this chart it'll invalidate this theory, but if we do something very similar, we come up and was like, yay, bullish, gonna break out, then we have a kind of consolidation pattern, a selling triangle, which is something I spoke about in a recent video. We start to see that we tag that green line as well, we get our ass above it, this is where your mania phase begins. So in theory, if I'm correct and we get up there by that dump moon time as well, which is uncanny, isn't it, which is 9th of March, a week on Saturday, so there'll be a lot of consolidation between then and now, basically. So if I'm correct, from that tag point just there, we move from left to right. You can clearly see that 139 days lines up with my time theory that I gave you way back last year of July being the top. So, you know, if this plays out, this is amazing. We've nailed it, you know, and at that point, you know, we start to get this orange line crossing the green line, and then boom, we get a pi cycle top up there. Job done. Get out of Bitcoin. We rely on data, and obviously if the data is invalidated, it will smash through that data and so on and so forth. But, you know, we've looked at the charts. It's never smashed through that data. So if it does, then obviously the data is broken, isn't it? But we'll address that issue. But obviously we've got a lot of work to do. We need to take out the all-time high for this particular scenario to play out. So I wish everyone the most luck, but this is just a little bit of confidence, and this is what I do in the channel. 139 days from tagging that to the all-time high, you know, for that potential parabolic mania phase blow off top, pi cycle top indicator right there. Hope you enjoyed that update. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Thank you for support. If you're not already in the Discord, get involved and tag that like button and subscribe on the way out. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay up, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye-bye.